Hello everyone, it's Richard Lewis here with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about match fixing again, unfortunately, specifically a Chinese matter. But those of you who follow the channel and follow my work will remember not that long ago I did a video where I was talking about how good it was that CSGO was coming to China, how leaked screenshots from presentation showed there was going to be a lot of Chinese investment, a big Chinese league, and it was really going to grow the market, and I knew there was going to be a lot of investment opportunities, and it was going to make the game more global, which is what I've always wanted. I think once we get a foothold in the Asian market, I think CSGO is going to really take off, and we'll enter another sort of golden period within the game. But because it's me and because it's one of my videos, it didn't entirely focus on the positive because there are some negatives. And one of the things that I talked about was that there is a lot of corruption within Asian esports. This is across the board. I'm not just talking about Counter-Strike here. And it's going to be incredibly difficult for us as external forces to sort of deal with that. And there's going to be some stuff we can't even really tackle. I mean, I don't even know how we'd go about doing it. So I'm always investigating match fixing. I'm always, whenever I've got any spare time, I'm always talking to people. I'm always asking questions. I'm always looking at suspicious matches and using my contacts to see if we can get anything solid. And it's still going on, obviously. Now, I talk to people involved within the sort of CS betting side of things a lot. And one of the things they'll all tell you is that the Asian market, the sort of Asian territory for CSGO, the matches stink. There's so many matches that are dubious and so many things going on there that many people either don't bet on them at all or they wait until they hear something, those on the more nefarious side of betting. So you'll remember, I mean, this was sort of last year. If you remember, Inch King got banned over match fixing in the Southeast Asian Rising Stars promotional, which was a tournament by CSGO Lounge in conjunction with eFrag. And CSGO Lounge, of course, don't offer the same service that they used to. But one of the things they've always done is they have looked at match fixing. I've worked with CSGO Lounge in the past to uncover match fixing. And yes, this is what they found, that Inch King was sort of handed a ban. But because they weren't a massive team, people didn't really sort of make too big a deal about it. And trust me, that was the tip of the iceberg for matches that were going on at that time, possibly even within that tournament. There was a lot of rumors flying around, people firing off messages. The problem you've always got with this is if someone says, hey, this game is fixed, just because the result goes the way they predicted doesn't mean that it's fixed. You got to find the conspiracy, the planning. It's very complicated to sort of present irrefutable evidence to the public before you make an allegation of that gravity. But in this situation, I'm going to show you now, I guess they're sort of bang to rights. So I want to tell you a story about a Chinese team called Eastern Mysterious Power. That's a great name. They're known as EMP for short. And it turns out that they have bet against themselves in a game against another team called TOT. Now, EMP have been dubbed to be like an up-and-coming team in the region. They won the WESG Hangzhou qualifier to go to the China finals of WESG recently. And they were playing a game in another tournament. And it was apparent that some mysterious betting went on. Now, EMP were sort of heavy favorites in this match, and yet they ended up drawing the series. They do the two-map best-of-two system, and they ended up drawing the map which was their pick, which was Overpass in this game against TOT, despite being these heavy favorites for it. Now, I can show you this game was offered on a website called vpgame.com. To bet. And what vpgame.com is it's kind of a site that tailors to the Chinese market, that tries to fill the skin betting void that was left when CSGO Lounge stopped offering that service. And you can see here, this is the match in question. Now, what happened is, in this game, it turned out that EMP players placed bets using their just regular accounts with their names, their avatars on. It beggars belief. I mean, I've talked to people, over at things like the Esports Integrity Committee, and they've told me the same thing. It's like fucking amateur hour compared to real sports. But you can't even believe that the players would be this brazen. But lo and behold, this is what happened. So it's interesting as well, just about VP Game. The site says all the games on our website are just for fun. The items and coins you win cannot be converted to money, which isn't true. I mean, you can convert skins to money. That's part of the problem. Anyway, so this game was a qualifier for the World Cyber Arena China Grand Finals, which is a very decent prize money for the region. I think, in the realm of $200,000 spread across the prize pool. And this game probably shouldn't have ever had betting on it at all, because it was mathematically impossible that TOT could qualify. They were already in last position. They were already eliminated. EMP were in 6th place out of the 9 teams, and they were on 6 points with 9 to play from their last 3 remaining fixtures. So it basically, the long story short, it was unlikely that EMP could have qualified even if they'd won all of the matches anyway, because the team in 4th already had the 14 points and 4 left to play. So it would have took some Herculean effort, and it would have took the other team, which I think was Flash, fucking up. All right. So to the betting, you can see here. I'll just show you just how brazen this is. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Here we have it. This is the bets here. EMP. You can see there with the logo. All these knives placed just openly on this game. That wasn't just the only bet that was placed. Here is another one. Again, fantastic amount of knives and high-priced items. And to give you the exact numbers that they bet, Yufan Yvonne Guo bet 19 knives, which was around about $2,000. And Wenzhuan Lingzong bet 15 knives and an AK, which, again, the value of that is negligible. But, it's not a million miles away from what Yvonne bet. So, to do it, this ridiculously is unbelievable. And lo and behold, the match went the way that the result would have benefited these players from. Now, there's other things breaking in this sort of situation as it stands. I got people from China feeding me information. It's a bit tough to have conversations. My Mandarin is terrible. Their English is certainly better than that. But we're still getting information about what's going on in this league, and it looks like there's actually some more widespread stuff going on. There's now allegations coming out, which I'm investigating, that the LGD versus TOT game was suspect. And an official statement has been put out from WCA, which I had 2 people who speak Chinese look at this. Okay, and here it is. I mean, I'm just going to show you the image of it. This is a ruling about TOT. And what you'll see here is that, again, if my translations are correct, that the TOT players have been banned from the WCA League for 1 year for other instances of match fixing. WCA didn't even say whether or not this was clearly about match fixing, but they said that the team had hired people to play on their behalf, which seems really fucking bizarre. I mean, this is before we get into the EMP. I mean, keep in mind, TOT were involved in this, but EMP is the team that had clearly bet this game and threw that map so they could maximize profit from it. Now, there's a few things just to add here. I mean, I guess one of them, crucially, is that, first of all, these problems are going to be fucking widespread in China, and I don't know how on earth we're going to tackle them, which, I mean, it's madness. We've got a big Chinese Super League coming soon. We're going to have to really keep tabs on who's doing what before we get to that stage. And we certainly also need to be mindful about Chinese teams competing in other tournaments. Unfortunately, we've got to be extra vigilant as we move into a territory that we don't really have an understanding of, because there's certain practices going on, which we've got a much better handle of on Europe and America at the highest level, at least. I mean, certainly tier 2, tier 3, it's still a sewer down there. But the other key thing is that these players, the penalty is just to be banned from one league. And it's not clear whether Valve are going to take a look at this and make some more definitive rulings about what's going on. And it certainly looks like this entire sort of league has been an absolute shit show. I mean, I'm getting sent stuff left, right, and center saying this is this was fixed, this was fixed. Here's a private coach chat, where they openly arranged the game, and it's nonsense. I mean, it's got to be stamped out now, right? I mean, I think we can all agree with that. So, be careful what you wish for, I guess. I wanted, the Chinese market to really help elevate us to the next level, but definitely not the case. I mean, we're going to have to deal with a lot of problems, I think, before we can really say with any confidence we've got a handle on the veracity of matches within this particular space. And I'm going to do some follow-up work on this and probably put another video out about it very soon. If you are somebody who likes to place bets on matches, my advice to you for the just foreseeable would be to kind of stay away from these kind of matches, because there's going to be some, it looks like there's been some strange results. And until WCA conduct their investigation and maybe weed out some of the other teams, and maybe the one good thing I'll say about sort of the Chinese scene is sometimes they will mirror bans. There's precedent for this. We saw with the Tai Lu nonsense that certainly the tournament organizers are happy to have you completely ostracized if you do anything wrong, or certainly wrong by their perception. I think we'll all agree match fixing qualifies. So maybe there could be some serious consequences for this, and I'm certainly hoping that Valve are going to get involved and take a look at this and take a firm hand on it. But yes, if you are somebody that's betting on these games, be very wary. Just know that some of these matches can be a little bit iffy. That's not to accuse all of the teams over in China, obviously. I'm sure there are many pros who would never dream of match fixing. But as I talk about in every match fixing video, when you have a situation where players have to work incredibly hard for not a lot of money, and they can make more money by rigging outcomes, there's always a chance match fixing will come in. And also, tournament organizers have got to look at games like this, look at tournament formats, and see where meaningless games are going to arise. And for meaningless games like this one, you cannot allow betting. You can't, because it's too easy to rig the outcome. But it doesn't behoove the bettor. It doesn't behoove anyone that these games are finding their way on a gambling site. And certainly, I think it was Sports Radar said that they wouldn't be offering odds on this particular game. But anyway, so there you have it. More stuff coming out of the Chinese scene, more match fixing. I'm gonna do a follow-up story on this once I learn more about the LGD TOT situation. So watch this space. But in the meantime, thanks all for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one.